What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 30 Minutes of Hell. I am your host, Brandon Baker, joined as always by Joey Jackson and Matt Jackson.
Matt, what are you laughing about already? We're 10 seconds into the pod. Go on, keep
We've
going with your
got
intro, Brandon. Matt's just being
Okay, okay.
crazy.
we've got some real Arkansas hoops coming up, and we're just so giddy about it.
Yeah, I was
Cannot
just about to
contain
say,
it.
Matt's just so giddy about Razorback basketball.
That's what it is.
But anyways, Arkansas has gone through their preseason exhibition games in dominant fashion, looked really good. We've got real hoops coming up soon. Monday night, a game against Southern. We're going to preview that game a little bit, give some last thoughts on kind of the preseason action, and talk a little bit about what we want to see this week from the team, and then talk a little bit about what we're hoping to see season long on some stats, win totals, stuff like that. So let's just jump right into it. Arkansas plays Southern University Monday night, 6 p.m., Bud Walton Arena. This is a team that actually won their conference regular season title last year. They returned like 60% of their scoring. Three guys coming back that combined for like 25 points a game. And they're bringing in several transfers that scored a lot at their last stops too. Um, Still on paper, this should not be a game that really threatens the Hogs or like challenges them like to a point of being worried about losing, especially because we think this could be a special Razorback team. But I bring all that up to say that this is no pushover team. Like as far as mid-majors go, this is still a solid squad. No one to laugh at, you know what I mean? And we'll talk a little bit about it more later on, but it's also a brutal schedule with a lot of marquee matchups on it, and I think that makes it easier sometimes to overlook games like this. Um, but that being said, it's opening night. It's in front of the home crowd. I don't think the guys are going to be sleepwalking in this one. I hope. Uh, but anyway, so Southern coming in, they have Michael Jacobs, Cam Ambory, and Joe Manning are a trio of senior guards that I mentioned that kind of led their team in scoring a year ago. And I feel like having that kind of experience in a backcourt, even if they're not like overly explosive players or anything like that, having that kind of experience on a team that won a lot of games last year can be dangerous. Like I think that they will provide a solid challenge, a solid matchup for the Razorback guards, a group that we think could be very special with Acuff, Malik Thomas, and DJ Wagner. How are we feeling about that matchup coming in with this kind of experience right off the bat in game one?
We talk about it a lot. I think the team chemistry year over year plays a lot into how well teams come against the Razorbacks. So having a team that's coming out with seven returners and then bringing in three really solid transfers, that's going to be a solid squad just from a chemistry perspective. Like you said, nothing to really worry about, and we've said it for the past three seasons since we've started this podcast. These are the games that you can't let slip away because of how tough the SEC is and how tough our schedule is. You've got to come out ready to play. You can't come in sleepwalking. And like you said, Brennan, I don't think that's going to be the case with this group of guys. These are the games that should be fun. You should come in high energy, home opener. They should they should be able to come out and drop 100 points on a team like this pretty easily, especially with how we've seen them play in these first two exhibitions. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping for really high energy. I think it'll be a fun game to just see the guys come out and play basketball.
Yeah. And I'm just looking for consistency. Like I just want to see them run through their sets, get it done, and win big. I mean, of course, I'm all in for some highlights, I'm all in for some Trevin Brazil alley-oop dunks, I'm all in for Billy Richmond ripping the rim off the basket. But I just want to see them take care of business. That's all I want to do. I don't want to see a bunch of turnovers, being lazy, things like that, just because they expect to win this game. I want to see a team that's ready for the hell that this season is going to be with how many teams they're playing, how good of teams they're playing.
Yeah, I think like we've been talking about a little bit. Calipari's alluded to it a little bit. Like this is a very talented team, top to bottom. The top eight guys are elite, I think they can be an elite college basketball team, and this is the kind of game that elite teams don't get stressed over, right? Like you can't overlook it. You can't like you have to come in and respect everyone, and I think that this sets the tone right now with this game. I think they need to come out, beat this team by 30 points, and show that they're not messing around. They're not here to sleepwalk. They're taking everything seriously. Like just set the tone in this game. And I'm really looking to see some of that out of the bigs from Arkansas. Southern doesn't have just on paper a lot of like big physicality, like big guys in the paint. They have one 6'10" guy who's coming in as a transfer from UMass, not like an overly great rebounder or anything. Like he's nothing incredible, but he's 6'10" guy, will provide some solid size. But I think that this is a game where you can see a distinct advantage for the Hogs in the paint. And I really want to see that shine through with Nick Pringle, with Malik Ewan, even with Trevin Brazil. I think this is the type of game where you could see like Trevin Brazil could handle the center position in games like this. But I want to see the other guys that are going to be more of our true centers come out and dominate the paint a little bit on both ends of the court. Like show that this is a mismatch, actually get to see a little bit more. Like Ewan played pretty well against Memphis, but he didn't do very much against Cincinnati. And Pringle has only played like 20 minutes total in the preseason due to foul trouble. He has like 9 fouls and only 21 minutes of action. Fouled out of the last game very quickly. So like those are the guys that I'm watching the most in this game. We know we have really good guards, high quality wings. I want to see what we have in big men, and I think this is a game where they could really shine through and show that.
Yeah. And the thing about Ewan is he kind of plays nonchalant, and it's not that's not necessarily a bad thing to be confident in your game, but I am with you. I want to see like significant effort coming from him. I really want to see him like throughout the season improve in that area of just acting like he wants to be on the court. He's obviously got the talent. I just want to see him play like, you know, a first rounder. Like I want to see him really give the effort and show some intensity. You know, that was something that was so exciting about the team last year is regardless, night in and night out, they came and they gave a lot of effort. And it's looking like this team is going to be very similar with guys like Acuff, with Malik Thomas, with Billy. Like all of those guys are just all out every play, and I don't want our potential starting center to be the drawback to a team that's full of energy guys, you know?
That's a great call, Joey. Like I hadn't really thought about it that way. Like we knew a little bit coming in that Ewan kind of had that nonchalant demeanor, but I think that it really shows through when you have guys like Malik Thomas and Billy Richmond on the court
Yep.
banging their head against the wall every single play, or like they're running through people, and so you really see the contrast there between guys like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would love to see like I said before, I'm looking for like consistency. I want to see them just take care of business, and Pringle needs to do that. He can't be getting into foul trouble, like you said. I love Pringle as like an idea right now, just because he's a
Archetype.
dog, right?
Yeah.
But like I can't say anything as far as how good he's been because, like you said, he's only played a few minutes because he's having to sit on the bench the rest of the game, right?
Well, didn't he foul out really early
Yeah.
in the
That's
game
yeah,
against Memphis?
he played 11 minutes in both
Yeah,
games. 11 minutes against Cincinnati, had 4 fouls, 11 minutes against Memphis and fouled out in those 11 minutes. So
and
like
you know,
it's got to be better than that.
Yeah.
I love a physical big, but you can't be Draymond Green all day long, right? You have to just calm down and just get us rebounds. That's what I want. And I hope maybe it was just the excitement of two games against quality opponents.
Yeah.
I know they're exhibitions,
Mhm.
but and in New Jersey. So maybe it's he's calm now. I want to see something big from them. I think, like you said, Brandon, the bigs are going to be crucial in this game. So all three of them need to perform really well.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't even really seen the full potential yet. Like we've shown that we're capable of putting out some small ball lineups, and they worked well against teams like Cincinnati and Memphis. But I don't know that that will always work against SEC squads. When Florida is running out double bigs and Kentucky has their depth in the front court, like when you're playing teams like that, you need guys like Pringle on the court more, or I would assume so, right? But we've seen how good we can be in the small ball lineups. I want to see more lineups where Brazil gets to play the four more often, and we have Knox at the three. You let Billy even run at the two. Like I want to see lineups where we have four, six, seven guys on the court at once. You know what I mean? Like we have the versatility to swing both ways, and we've seen us do it one way. And I want to see but I feel like we've done that almost out of necessity, right? Like with foul trouble and kind and I almost feel like Cal is even making a statement to you and at times not starting him, like trying to get more effort out of him. I want to see these guys make their impact, right? Put their stamp on the game and give us the versatility to swing the other way and play big as well.
Mhm.
That's really the big storyline for me going. And I don't, like I said, I don't think it's even really needed in this game, right? Because I think Brazil could hold down the center spot in this game, but we can take advantage of it. I want to start to see it more.
There are just so many interesting lineup combinations that can come from this group that I was just trying to like go through my head the best defensive lineup, and I Acuff and Thomas are two great defenders. Billy Richmond, great defender. Knox on a good day is a great defender. Then put up Brazil and Pringle as our 4 and 5. Like that's a strong, like whichever way you go with the 1 through 3, Brazil and Pringle have the potential to be one of the best 4-5 duos in college basketball. It's just like Matt, like you said, consistency. I want to, I don't want to see Pringle playing 10 minutes a game, and I don't want to see Brazil kind of taking plays off or jumping at everything and him getting in foul trouble, because the second that we lose both of those guys, we've got to lean on Ewan, who isn't typically a defensive minded guy that we've seen in the past. And then we have to play someone like Knox potentially at the 4, and it just we can't let Brazil, who in the past has kind of been a foul trouble guy, also fall alongside with Pringle, who we've seen be a foul trouble guy. We've just got to stay smart and stay consistent on how we play on the defensive side of the court with those two guys in particular.
One of our best lineups, or I'm sorry, one of our best highlights, one of the best plays that came out of the preseason so far came with a lineup like what you were talking about, and it started on defense. I think it was like I don't remember. I think it was Knox dove after a ball and tipped it out of bounds, and Acuff saved it to Malik Thomas, who hit a sweet bounce pass to Billy Richmond on the break. Like that kind of defense and effort you can get from those guys, that
Yeah.
group. I agree completely.
Joe, you brought up the point of Brazil jumping at everything. I could be wrong because it wasn't something I was just yet, like taking stats on, but I don't feel as if he is doing that near as much, especially like the last few games last season and into these two exhibitions. It's like almost like a night and day versus how he was with Musselman. He was jumping at everything, which I kind of feel like Muss was almost pushing that.
Well, Muss wanted us to be shot blockers. He wanted
Yeah.
everyone to. He wanted to lead the league in shot blocking. So I that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. And so like seeing Brazil like actually stay on the floor instead of jumping at everything, I feel like has kept him out of foul trouble, like we're seeing with Pringle, right? So because I just remember Brazil was always one of those guys that you're like, oh shoot, he's got 4 fouls and there's still 17 minutes left to play, right?
Yeah.
But these last two games, he's done, at least I think, really good. It'll be something I'm paying more attention to, see how often he gets off his feet or not. But Brandon, get some stats on that.
He's currently got 6 blocks and 4 fouls in the exhibition games through like 55 minutes of action. So that's
And
that's
120
pretty good
jumps.
ratio.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know about the
yeah.
dunks.
I need stats.
Brandon's going to
Well,
start tracking footsteps.
the block to foul ratio looks pretty good so far. That's all I got for you so far. But
Enough.
yeah. All right. That's really all we got, I think, for the preview portion. Let's get into a little bit, just a couple of questions, and we can discuss these more in depth.
As you know by now, we have teamed up with BetMGM again this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we will have special offers for Field of 68 fans, including same game parlays, best in class live betting, and daily odds boost. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD to get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app, you sign up using bonus code FIELD, you deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. Make this college basketball season one for the history books. Make it legendary. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD and get your $1,500 first bet offer today.
I keep saying it over and over again. This team has special potential, and I'm curious kind of how it plays out because we've seen almost every year with Muss, there was like a 5 game stretch where it was like, okay, this team is done. Like they're not going to do anything. We'd start 0-5, 1-4, whatever it was, and then make a late run. Even last year with Cal, we saw what was it, 0-5 start to SEC play before they clawed their way back in, finished 8-10 in the SEC to sneak into the tournament, and then they put together their run. Like I don't want that to happen this year. I think this team has the capability of finishing high in the SEC, being a contender through and through, like contender for like the SEC title, I mean, and being one of like the top like 12-ish teams in the country all year. So with that being said, some quick like over under on stats here. I want to get you guys' opinion on some of these things. And we may change the lines on these if we're all in agreement and see kind of where that line may fall. So let's start with just as an offensive team, we have seen already how good of an offensive team this can be. Like these were not slouches that we played in Cincinnati and Memphis. And Arkansas put up what 99 points and what was the other point total? 89 and 99. So like that's I don't think that's sustainable, but maybe like is this team going to average a lot of points with how good they are? So I'm going to set the line right now at 78 and a half points per game. Do you guys think that that's too low for this squad, or do you think that's a fair line? For
You know,
context, last season they averaged about 76 and a half points per game. And like I just mentioned, averaging like 95 right now in the preseason.
I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of my thought process, and that is looking at the teams we are playing this year compared to
Yeah,
the teams that we were playing last year. The teams we are playing this year are much higher quality, I think.
sure.
And with that comes better defenses. But our offense is so good. As of right now,
Yeah.
78 and a half. I'm gonna take the under on that one, actually.
What do you think, Joey?
Yeah, I'm taking the under.
I'm gonna go over by a pretty wide margin. I think I'm gonna say we
Okay.
we average 80 or more points.
Dang.
80.
And
Okay.
I say that with the thought that in our first episode, I wasn't super high on Acuff. I have since changed my mind. Brandon, you weren't super high on Thomas. I think you have since changed your mind. I think Knox is going to be a 12 to 15 points per game. I think Thomas is going to be around 12 to 15. I think Acuff could be 15 plus. I think we've got the firepower to, if one of those guys has an off night, another guy is going to pick up the slack. And I think we have enough depth with guys like Brazil and Billy and Wagner that those guys are going to get us, 8 to 12 a game. I think 6 to 12 a game. I really think that we've got the potential to average 80 plus this season. And it comes down to those two freshman guys who have been so stellar these first two
It was
exhibition
funny. Our
games.
our we were kind of like opposed a little bit on the views, and not that either of us thought that the players weren't talented. For me, it was how quickly can Malik adapt to the new speed of the college game. It
Yeah.
wasn't that he didn't have the potential, he didn't have the skill. Like obviously it's there. He's scoring a ton of points at a high level in a high competition high school, right? Like we saw that. But yeah, immediately, 2 games in, immediately, I think he could lead this team in scoring. Like he's there. Like he's a maniac. I have no other way of describing it because I feel like he has no recollection of the last play that happened on either side of the ball. He's just gonna do what Malik does every single play, and he's
Well,
good at it.
and he has, what's impressed me so much was in the Memphis game. He showed leadership qualities. We
Yeah,
were we were not playing well. He hit a big shot or he would make a big play and he was there rallying the guys and getting them ready. And honestly, he didn't have a great first half. He had a good first half. He adjusted his game and really came out and played a great second half. And
he's
in his second game as a collegiate athlete, that is amazing.
he's the alpha. He's the offensive
Yeah.
alpha. He may not be the leader in the locker room, like he's not the senior on the team, but offensively, he's the alpha. Like they're going to look to him to score the ball.
Yep.
So on that note, who do you guys think leads the team in scoring this year? I think I'm predicting Malik Thomas at this point.
Yeah, I'm going with the same.
I think it's a toss up between him and Acuff. I said it in our first episode. I wasn't sure about Acuff's playmaking abilities, but I think he had 7 assists in the Memphis game.
And zero
So I
turnovers.
yeah, I think it's a toss up between those two because Thomas is going to throw it up when he's got the chance. He's got the green light. It's been apparent that he has the green light to shoot. So I think any given night it can be a toss up between those two.
Yeah. I could see Thomas right around 17-ish points per game and Acuff at like 14.8 points and 6 assists. Like I
Which
could
is
see that, and on any
crazy.
night they could swap. Yeah.
We're gonna have our two leading scorers as true freshmen.
Hey, that's how some of the best Calipari teams are
That's
constructed,
true.
man.
That's true.
That is
We've
true.
seen it time and time again. All right. 'Cause so similar to that note, then, I feel like with a lot of Must teams, a big concern was always 3-point shooting. And we've already seen the level of 3-point shooting with some of these guys, like Malik especially, is going to let it fly, and he's a sniper, like he's a good shooter. And we've got some other guys that I feel like can really contribute. Brazil is a high percentage, low volume type shooter. If Acuff continues to contribute, if Wagner takes a step forward, like there's a lot of guys that could contribute to this. I'm going to set the line right now at 34% from three as a team on the year.
I am gonna once again take the under, but not by much. Not by
Okay.
much. The only reason is because yes, Malik Thomas is a great shooter, but he also shoots a lot and sometimes
Yeah.
questionable shots. And Billy Richmond has gained some confidence from the 3-point line as well. So he's going to let him fly a little bit more than he did last year as well. Probably not going to be a crazy high percentage shooter there either. But I do think we're going to be much better than we were last year at shooting the three, or at least appear so.
I
Yeah.
I agree, Matt. I'm also gonna take the under. I think Thomas is gonna put up 6 to 8 threes a game. I think as a team we're gonna shoot a lot more threes this season. But I think a lot of guys have also taken a step up. So I think Billy is gonna take a lot more threes this season. We saw him hit two against Memphis, but I'm also gonna take the under of 34%. But like you said, Matt, not by a wide margin. I think we'll have some games where we shoot very high and some games where we don't shoot very well.
I think that I am going to go over on this one, but I think it will be on lower volume. Like, I don't think we're going to be a prolific shooting 3-point team. I think relative to some of the other teams in the country, we may take less attempts, but I think we will hit them at a high rate. I think there will be games where we shoot 50% from three as a team when Malik Thomas gets hot, when a couple of guys. One thing I want to mention too, I feel like this team already has the type of chemistry that when one guy gets going, they all get going. Like they have all their takeover badges synced up. Like whenever someone gets hot, they all get hot. And I feel like it's rare for a team to be that cohesive this early, but I feel it already. Like I already
Yeah,
see that.
definitely.
That being said, when shots aren't falling, it could be a very similar situation. If Malik, we talked about he's going to put up his 7 threes per game. If he only makes one of them in a game, we're going to have a pretty poor shooting night as a team. Um, but I think so. Just to put some context to this number, at 34%, Last year, that would have ranked right around 175th in the country out of like 360 teams.
Dang.
It would also be almost 2 percentage points higher than what Arkansas shot last year. So not a great three-point shooting team last year. But I think that Arkansas can push closer to like a top 100-ish percentage wise team and get closer to like 35%. I'm gonna say like 34 and a half, 34.7. Like that's kind of what I'm looking at. Just maybe on, like I said, lower volume. So,
Brandon, what was your? Did you say over 78.5 points per game? The last one.
I don't think you answered.
yes, actually, I don't know that I answered, but yeah,
Okay.
I'm taking the over just barely. I think 70 and a half is like honestly like right on the line. I would not be surprised if it is very close to that number because I think some of the elite offenses do get right around 80 or just above. So I would not be surprised if we're close to 80. Okay, last question for this pod today. Season long win total. We've talked about everything that we can talk about as far as offensively. I feel like this is also the team has potential to be a very elite defensive team too, with their high effort level, the amount of length they have at every position. Like this team could be special. I don't know how many more times I could say it. Last season, Arkansas ended up with 22 total wins. I am putting the line right now, not counting tournament game, not counting NCAA tournament games, heading into the NCAA tournament at 23 and a half wins.
Over.
What
Over
did you say
by
on the last pod, Matt? Like 25 wins? Is that what you
I
were
think
hoping
I
for?
yeah,
Or
I'm hoping
26?
I think I'm hoping for 25. I think that's what I
Okay.
said.
Okay. Yeah. So that would be like 25 and 6, I think. I think there's 31 games on the schedule. So
Well,
that's
31 and
that's
0.
solid.
Matt said, "Put the line at 32."
Not counting tournament games. Surprise game in November.
Matt said, "Get the high school squad back together. We're playing the Razorbacks." I'm
Oh,
also
okay.
gonna go the over. I think I can't remember what I said in our first pod. I think I said 23 or 24, but I think I agree with you, Matt. I think we're gonna hit 24 or 25 wins.
Okay, so I was also going to go over. So let me real fast and ask the question. If I change the line to 24 and a half, is everybody still going over? Or you feel like that's tougher?
I'm going over. I already
Okay.
said
I think
25,
that's
baby.
I think that's tougher. I can't make a decision. I'm gonna say over just because it's our year.
Okay. Man, I don't want to be the bad guy. I feel like we need to have some kind of opposition here on these takes so we can
We
revisit
don't
them later. But
we don't
we're
have
all
to.
going over on it. We're all going over on this one.
Okay.
We're opposed on the other two. We'll keep track of this as the season goes. We'll revisit this later and see kind of how these stats are shaping up. Um, but yeah, I think this could be our year. I think it could be more than 25 wins. All right. That is all the time we have for you guys today. Quick reminder, we are brought to you by the Field of 68 Podcast Network. Be sure to find us on YouTube, on Twitter, on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your stuff. Please like, subscribe, comment, leave a review, share with your friends. We really appreciate it. It really helps us out, especially if you enjoy the content that we're bringing. Um, we're very excited to be back for another season of Arkansas basketball. I cannot wait to get this season kicked off and underway. But until next time, I've been your host, Brandon Baker, joined as always by Joey Jackson and Matt Jackson. And